Good evening. Thank you for choosing Local News 8 tonight as we bring you your election results. From the battle for power in Congress to the leader of our state in Boise to the local bonds and levies that could impact your taxes. Our team has you covered tonight. Linda Larson is live in Boise at a watch party. We will go to her momentarily to check in on the statewide candidates. Our Kaylee Galaviz has our local coverage tonight. She is at the Bonneville County Elections Office. We will check in with her as the ballots are being tallied there. But first, let's take a look at the results of some closely watched statewide races, starting with the bid for the next Idaho Attorney General. This is an interesting race. After Raul Labrador knocked off longtime incumbent Attorney General Lawrence Wasden in May's Republican primary, it became a close race between Labrador and Democratic candidate Tom Arkush. Idaho has not sent a Democrat to the Attorney General's office since 1991, but this year the GOP is throwing their weight behind Arkush and not Labrador. And as you can see by the results right now, Tom Arkush, the Democrat, is out in front. In another overthrowing of an incumbent in the Republican primary, candidate for Superintendent of Public Instruction, Debbie Critchfield, is now taking on Democratic candidate Terry Gilbert. Gilbert is a lifelong educator, teaching from elementary school to the college levels for nearly 45 years. Meanwhile, Critchfield served the last 7 years as a member of the Idaho Board of Education, with the last 2 of that being the president. And tonight, voters decided that Debbie Critchfield should be State Superintendent of Public Instruction. Now to other highly anticipated races, Idaho Governor and Lieutenant Governor. And since current Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeehan lost in the primary election to Governor Brad Little, a new Lieutenant Governor will need to be selected by the end of tonight. In the running are Republican House Speaker Scott Bedke and Democrat Terry Pickens Manweiler. It is a close race, or was early on. Right now, it appears Scott Bedke is trending toward the new Lieutenant Governor for Idaho. Can Brad Little hold on to his seat as Idaho Governor? Democratic candidate Stephen Haidt is a challenger, and so is independent activist Ammon Bundy. The results currently with Little at 60%, Haidt 28%, Ammon Bundy, the independent, at 10%. Also, the Associated Press has called this race for Republican Brad Little. He wins re-election for governor in Idaho. Some of our candidates, our statewide candidates, are throwing a watch party at this hour and celebrating as some of these numbers you see right here start to come in. Our Linda Larson is live in Boise right now, gauging the overall vibe of the night and how things are going there at the Republican watch party at the Grove. Linda, what have you found so far?
All right, so far we've had some really interesting things happening here at the watch party. There is a huge crowd behind me. A lot of the candidates are already here, and some of the races, in fact, have already been called. Just moments ago, Governor Brad Little gave a speech talking about his plans for the next 4 years, and we talked just moments ago to Senator Mike Crapo, who was one of the earliest ones that was called by the national media, and what he plans to do, and he says that there is a lot of work ahead for them to do.
First thing we need to do is to stop the spending spree, which is driving this incredible historical inflation. Secondly, we've got to restore our energy policy to where we are energy independent, and that has been damaged by this administration, so we've got to restore that. And then finally, we've got to close the borders. We were way down the road in closing the borders before the administration took over and literally flipped our immigration policy and created an open border catch and release system that we've got to stop. And those are the 3 biggest things that we need to do right away, but there are many others we've got to follow up on.
So there are, in fact, a lot of things that the Republicans have on their agenda moving forward with things that need to be done. One of Governor Brad Little's remarks was that we have to keep Idaho independent. We have to continue to show the rest of the nation how Idaho has claimed its independence and how it plans on continuing that. We will have those interviews for you a little bit later, and we're still talking to candidates as we go along here through the night. It looks to be a long but pretty exciting night from here in Boise. Todd, back to you.
All right, Linda, thanks a lot. Dr. David Adler joins me now. He valuable expertise for us tonight. He is the president of the Alturas Institute, and that is a nonprofit organization created to promote the Constitution. I know you're a constitutional scholar. The gender equality and civic education for all of us to learn about political science.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Let's go back and talk about some of these earlier statewide races. One in particular that jumps out as very interesting is the Attorney General's race.
You're right. I think that's the most fascinating of the statewide races, principally because a lot of Republican heavyweights have thrown their support behind the Democratic candidate.
Have you ever encountered that?
Not here in Idaho, we haven't, but I think that reflects the fact that, first of all, the Republican nominee, Raul Labrador, is an election denier. That's number one. Number two, he has indicated that he would run the office of Attorney General in a way that's far afield from the way previous attorneys generals have, whether it's Watson or Jim Jones, for example, or Tony Park on the Democratic side, trying to call balls and strikes. He's indicated he wants to be an activist attorney general promoting the interest of the legislature, and I think that's concerned many because they view the office of Attorney General as wielding an important check on the legislature to help determine whether or not the bills enacted or passed by the legislature conform to the Idaho Constitution and the U.S. Constitution. So I think there's deep concern about the kind of Attorney General that Raul Labrador might be.
Okay, we'll see how that those numbers end up. Any of the other statewide races float to the top to grab your attention?
You know, I think they're probably running true to form. I think the race between Scott Bedke and Terry Manweiler for the office of Lieutenant Governor is one to watch. Certainly the former Speaker, Bedke, is the favorite, but Manweiler has run a very aggressive campaign and scored a lot of points against him in the statewide debate in Boise just a few weeks ago.
And we're looking at those numbers right now. Scott Bedke at 58% and Terry Pickens Manweiler 39%.
Yeah. Probably that she's going to exceed the number that most Democrats win in the statewide race. This may not be her last race. She's a newcomer to politics, a Republican turned Democrat, somebody to watch in the future.
Okay. I'm going to just jump ahead to this in the control room so we've got it, but the important ballot topic was the possibility of Idaho's legislature being able to call themselves back into session. Right now, only the governor can do that. We saw a case of that during the pandemic. There was a question on the ballot for the voters, yes or no, that the legislature can call themselves back.
Yeah.
Talk about this.
Well, you know, Todd, the principal concern about that item was the concern that, in fact, the Idaho legislatures might be moving toward a full-time legislature, which would cost the state more money, which would undercut the governor's traditional constitutional authority. It might promote more brazen politics by the legislators vying with the governor for the right to make policies decisions which often have been the preserve of the governor. So this is a great separation of powers issue, and of course Idaho's only one of 14 states,
that right here. Yeah,
which means we're in the minority. Other states have seen fit to allow legislatures to call themselves back into session. The trend would be, if we do pass this, then the legislature is likely to be in Boise a whole lot more than it is now.
Okay, let's just continue. Like having you here with me. Voters also saw an advisory question on the ballot. It's to find out if voters either approve or disapprove of action taken in this year's extraordinary special session that was due to the pandemic. And there was a rebate of taxpayer dollars, as well as $410 million designated to the Idaho public school system. The results so far, there's no binding effects attached to this question on the ballot, but 80% of the voters approve.
Well, there's a win-win for almost every voter. More money for education, you vote yes. More tax cuts, you vote yes. It's hard to lose on this proposal, frankly. Some saw a lot of political maneuvering behind this. Once Reclaim Idaho had enjoyed great success to push forward a ballot measure that would have called for a very large spending spree by the legislature, I think that's when the governor got on his horse and decided that he was going to introduce his own measure. That's when Reclaim Idaho pulled back, happy to acknowledge that it had brought political pressure on the legislature and on the administration to better finance education.
Well, is it a little strange to have the approval after the fact?
It is, and what many people have suggested is that this is a way for the Republican-dominated legislature to pat itself on the back, because you look at the language It's extolling the virtues of hard-working Idahoans. The adjectives there suggest that something's wrong with you if you don't support this measure, which frankly really should be two separate measures. The education measure and the tax cuts. That's right.
But voters got
by bundling them, you get 80% of the vote.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because taxpayers, many, have already got that in their pocket.
Exactly
there
right.
We go.
Yeah.
Okay, don't go too far. I'm going to come back and join you in a little bit. But right now, thank you.
Thank you.
We want to get to some of our regional ballot issues. Local News 8's Kaylee Galaviz is in Bonneville County with us live with details from the election office. Good evening, Kaylee.
Yes, Todd, we are live from the Bonneville County Elections Office, where they're just finishing up right here and downstairs getting the final votes. One big question in the county is whether or not District 91's
All right, let's go back to this. We've lost some audio on Kaylee, but one of the big questions she's talking about in the county is, in Bonneville County, is District 91's, that's the Idaho Falls School District, a record-breaking $250 million bond. Will it pass? Now, if it passes, the plan is to build 3 new schools and update an existing one. And right now, with the absentee early voting and about half of the precincts reporting, as we look at the, looks like District 91's bond in favor, 58%, against 42%. Again, it says 0, but we've got about half of the precincts reporting, and again, the absentee and then that batch. But another item on the ballot is Bonneville School District 93's $11.6 million 2-year supplemental levy to add updates to the schools there. Right now, let's bring those numbers up, about 58% in favor of authorizing the levy. Okay, we can stay up to date, and you can stay up to date and find the final numbers in real time on our website, localnews8.com. We will have that updated here in just a little bit.